I flew in, right? And, Adam's an athletic guy, but he was like hobbling. And I'm like,
oh, no.
You all right, brother? He's just, without skipping a beat and so nonchalant, he's like, yeah, I got hit by a car yesterday.
I just got hit by a car yesterday.
The Business of the Business podcast, joined by my co-host / co-captain. Just remove the D and replace a J, and you got Justin Spence in the house.
It's the Justin and Dustin show.
That's right.
Back at it again.
Hopefully this one makes it to the air. The last one, the last one got canceled.
Top secret ones though, like good
top
conversation,
secret.
Things that the world should know, but we can't let anybody know.
It's in the vault. Our special guest of the show, one of the top directors within OSP, one of the best guys you'll ever meet. He's the guy, I can't believe he's sitting across the desk and not over here giving hugs. The one and only Adam Dreikosen. Sir, welcome to OSP TV.
Thank you for having me. This is an awesome experience. I've been wanting to get on this for a while now, so I'm pretty excited.
Good. And I promise we'll end the show with a hug.
All right, I'm down.
Welcome. First podcast?
100%, yeah.
Perfect.
I did one at NatCon, but I wouldn't really consider
You were
that.
on that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider
Yeah,
that.
you were nominated for an award last year.
100%. Won that award.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the show? Give us a little background on who's Adam Dreiko.
Dreiko is my nickname. I got it when I was high school wrestling. My coach, Angelo LaRosa. Shout out Angelo. Hopefully you see this.
Sure, certainly watching this.
Yes. But a little bit about me. I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. I was originally from North Carolina. Grew up in the town of Wisconsin. Went to high school there. Started getting into wrestling, which was pretty groovy. Wrestling, which gave me a lot of my discipline and work ethic, kind of just how I move forward. And I did that until college. Wrestled till my sophomore year. Just kind of had a big wake up moment where I was like, I really have to kind of focus on what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So
what'd you go to school for?
Marketing. I graduated with a marketing degree and a business management minor. So
wow. Yeah. So
full circle,
we're flip flops.
Really?
I was business management major, marketing minor.
Flip flop.
I was a management major and a econ and finance minor.
So we all come from management.
Somehow we ended up in the right field.
I agree.
I always tell people it wasn't by plan, though.
I didn't know what I wanted to be a manager of, though. Like
business management just sounded cool.
What could I be a manager of? McDonald's, a Walmart? A business manager. What is like?
It's funny.
It's a really broad category.
And then I became a master's of business administration. Like, what am I the master of?
Man.
So head Walmart manager.
Where did you go to college at?
So I went to Concordia, and then I went to UWM. In Wisconsin.
UWM, what's that? Whitewater?
University, Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Ah, okay. So you graduate college, you go out into the job world. Was this your first job out of school?
So no, I bartended for about a year after I graduated. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and then I just kind of got tired of dealing with the good old patrons, having to kick people out in the wee hours of the morning, hearing the same stories.
But I will say, we had somebody else on here, and they were a server, bartender, and I've said this forever. If you could give me somebody with like what background or kind of training or whatever, I'll take service industry, servers, bartenders over anything all day.
1,000%.
Like our business is just kind of the more professional, career-oriented version of it, but it teaches you a lot of the same things.
A lot of the same skill sets. Actually, my first outside deal, Clay, also was a bartender in Wisconsin as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right.
I could see that from Clayton.
Like a
dive bar for sure.
Yeah, 100% dive bar. I was more on the east side, but.
Do you consider yourself like a native Wisconsin? Is it Wisconsin?
Are you a cheesehead?
Cheesehead?
Yeah, 100%. Go Pack Go all day.
Okay.
Be careful. The studio's in Detroit.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
I don't know if you saw those boos rain down in the draft last week.
Yeah.
When whenever Green Bay was showed in Chicago, the whole place erupted. We'll get more of the draft in a minute, though, actually. Keep going. So you start in the business. When did you start?
I started, it was February of 2019. It was February 23rd, I believe, or 21st, one of them.
I always forget how young you are.
Yeah.
You're still 100%. A baby.
I wouldn't say that.
And already accomplished so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We're not
What were you guys
done
selling
yet.
back then?
AT&T. We were doing AT&T residential. So I was working with the fiber. DirecTV Stream was the big hot product at the time. So, I went up through the business, opened up my first office in this little space in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. I got promoted to assistant director like 5 months in. COVID hit. We had a little hiatus. We got back into it. I opened November 23rd.
So you were still in the field during COVID?
Yeah, I was an assistant director. Yeah.
Wow.
COVID, baby.
Here's something crazy. I was telling one of the assistant directors this literally last week. What meg internet were you selling?
Oh, when I first started my first solo day, I was selling 18 meg. Yeah.
Really? Even in 2019, AT&T was only pumping out 18 meg?
No, they saved that for all like the...
But the standard was 50 by then. Yeah. I mean, because we were selling 50 by like 2014, 15 up here. That was the lowest speed you were selling.
Yeah, no, that was my territory was 18 and 25 megabit territory. I got promoted in that territory.
So when I started, we were selling, first off, VoIP telephone lines.
Same.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. In Wisconsin, you guys are like 5 years behind us.
100%.
Go Pack, go.
But our internet speed was 6 and 10 meg.
Yeah. I'm not even going to tell you where I started at.
I
got older than you.
There were DSL.
Yeah, DSL
options there.
Yeah, 756, 1.5 megs. 1.5 was like 3 megs. We were trying to steal from Comcast at that point back in the day.
You could walk up to a house.
That's the slowest internet I sold was 1.5.
The leads could show you like what they had. You're like, how am I going to position this?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, please have wow. Please have wow.
It's a dedicated line.
Yeah, that's
we're going to give you your own. We're going to give you your own internet highway.
Yeah. If you're on cable, you share the network with all of your neighbors. Right?
Oh, let's let all the trade secrets out. Okay, so you opened up your office. You've worked with a couple different campaigns. You've moved markets a couple times.
Yeah, 4 markets, 3 different campaigns. Well, I guess I technically worked on 5, but one was I was only piloting it, so I wouldn't consider it a real campaign. We didn't.
Because you went out to Philly, you did energy out there.
Yeah, so I worked when I just got promoted to assistant director. One of our mentors. He actually had me on the Sprint campaign for a week, which was pretty cool. Just kind of testing my words. 100%. Really helped me with AT&T because no one has anything. Never mind, I'm not going to bash anybody. But and then we did Nordic Energy here in Michigan when I was actually transitioning to open in Philly. So we were just trying to get like our feet wet, trying to test the new campaign because I was only familiar with telecommunication like sales until that point. So it was a good experience. We moved to Philly. I was there for like 9 months. Was it? Yeah, about 9 months. And
that's where I met you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you guys were all drove in a car together.
Yeah,
I brought you some shirts.
A funny Adam story is I flew in. Right. And, Adam's an athletic guy and he had a ping pong table and I was like, let's do some ping pong, even though I'm not very good at it. But he was like hobbling. And I'm like,
oh, no.
You all right, brother? He's just, without skipping a beat and so nonchalant, he's like, yeah, I got hit by a car yesterday.
I just got hit by a car yesterday.
I'm like, did you go to the doctor? No. Did you go to the hospital? No. I went to the field, though.
100%.
It was like a hit and run, too, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was walking across the street to the restaurant right across our office. So some of the team saw. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I didn't know if we were going to hit that.
Yeah, some people, they find a way to work. Some people find a way out of work. We know which one Adam is. So then you come back to Detroit. I think that's when you got on Verizon, right?
Correct. I partnered up with DJ. That was a great time. It was really nice. It was different, but very similar to what I was used to. We were able to acclimate really quickly. Then we won the belt, which was pretty awesome.
Top office in the company.
First telecom office to win the belt.
Did you do it here or in Atlanta?
I did, both.
Both? So you moved to Atlanta, which is where you reside now.
Yes, Atlanta, Georgia, Sandy Springs technically, but yeah, we'll say Atlanta.
Right. So, what do you think you've learned, whether it's personal, professional, about making all those moves? Because I think moving... it's a big part in our business, but I think, for people that want to build a successful career, you might be asked to move. What would you say to that?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, it is just so important to get out of your home state, just to experience really who you are. You kind of find yourself, you can start anew. So like all the prior experiences and all the self-identity or limiting self-beliefs that you may have
100%.
had, like those can get washed away when you do like relocate. And I mean, honestly, just taking those steps forward, that's where the most of our growth was done, was throughout these transitions. We really got to find out like what our holes were. Cause just from a business standpoint, like when we were in Wisconsin on AT&T, we were top 5 on the campaign in the country every single week when we opened, like from opening dates. So we thought of ourselves as our stuff didn't stink, and then embracing change, really getting into a new environment, seeing a whole different type of like way of living. People are all very similar, but there's different like cultures, and like Philly was completely different than Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that really accelerated our development, and I'm very grateful for it.
I totally agree.
I want to move again, to be honest.
I've always said that I think, personally speaking, I moved from Ohio to Michigan, still go Bucks. Let's just get that straight. But it was probably one of the better decisions I ever made. It made me grow up personally, but it also allowed me to focus and fully commit professionally, because it was really all I had to do.
All the distractions are gone.
Spence, have you always lived in Philly?
Yeah, pretty much. Pennsylvania boy.
PA.
Born and raised, yeah. Scranton.
Scranton. They have crazy races in Scranton during the summer.
The crazy races?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. One of my friends growing up in high school, he used to go to Scranton, and I used to make fun of it just because the name sounds weird, Scranton. But it's like off-road derby car or derby trucks. I mean, if you want to pull it up,
Spence's alley.
Scranton races. It's like derby trucks. It's like these jacked up. Like just watch. It's intense.
Everybody always makes fun of it because of The Office, right? So many Office references, Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, all that stuff. So it's really fun. But the area that I come from, I call it Scranton, the greater Scranton area. But I come from a little bit. They actually have a thing they call the Rattlesnake Roundup.
I don't do snakes.
Legitimately go out and find rattlesnakes.
They got rattlesnakes in PA?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Yeah, bro.
Wait, what?
For real.
How do y'all get rattlesnakes in PA?
They're eastern diamondback rattlesnakes. The eastern
Sounds like somebody's pet got out.
And, sorry.
Funny story. So the western diamondback, like from Arizona, those ones that are out there, they had one time to bring as a demonstration at this rattlesnake roundup. They brought it out of the game commission, brought it out of a truck, set it there, and all of the other ones started getting like super aggressive because that one was in their territory. They sensed it. It was an in bucket. Yeah. So rattlesnake roundup. That's
OG don't do snakes.
I don't either.
Okay. Moving on. All right. So we've moved a lot, and you've worked on a lot of different campaigns, and your experience in sales now going on 5 years, and selling from multiple different clients in different industries. What do you think makes up a good salesperson?
That is the question of the day. Honestly, it comes down to a couple different things. So number one is character. Like, are you a good person? Do you walk around with like a high morality? Do you have integrity? Do you treat people with respect? And do you actually want to help people? I feel like sales and marketing in general has like a bad name because of like all the old sharks and people just trying to upsell.
Sleazy car
salesman. Yeah,
exactly. And so like number one, what makes a good salesperson is just, are you a good person? Do you care? Do you actually want to help people? And if you want to help people, you're probably going to help more people. Number two.
And I think we don't talk about this side of it enough. I think that people can read, or feel or sense when someone's like genuine, honest, wants to put them in a good, a better position, which that's what sales is, right? Like It's a two-way street, and the ultimate goal is for everybody to win. And if you're not putting clients in a better position than they were before, they're not going to be repeat clients, you know?
And then the brand's going to be tarnished. So, yeah, 100%. So character number one. Number two is student mentality. I had no experience getting in this industry. I graduated with business management, marketing, but like none of it was real world like applications. So I had no sales experience. I was in the server industry, so I could talk to people, but I didn't have any of the systems, any of the strategies, lacked confidence. So really having a high student mentality, and like not only are you open-minded enough to learn, but are you actually, for lack of better words, aggressively going to apply it. That's what I was going to say. So it's application along with that. And the number three is just work ethic. Like, are you a dog? Are you going to work hard?
You know, I think people get this like, you know, this theory or this viewpoint that in sales, it's, you know, wear a suit, you know, go to a coffee shop, check some emails, like maybe visit a client or two, and everybody says yes, right? You know, movies like The Wolf of Wall Street.
That'd be ideal, right?
Yeah, right. At the end of the day, like people do well in sales, they have a high motor, right? They talk to more people, they meet with more people. Now, you know, once you have a career in a career-wide sales position, maybe car, or, you know, we had Ali Rada on here who holds every record in the car book, and he actually said the same thing as you, like doing what's best by the customers, not acting like a sleazy, you know, car salesman, for lack of better words. But, you know, does he have a clientele? Yeah, like, you know, people are repeat buyers, like people send him things. So as you build up your pipeline, your clientele, but at the end of the day, sales is really whoever works the hardest.
Yeah, one of the things that too, I think you touch on a couple of things. Number one is making sure what's right for the customer. One of the things that we pride ourselves here, and you know, I say because it's my side of the business, but getting clients for your sales agents to be able to represent is huge, because some of the things that we do, we don't get things that are bad for them. Like there's a lot of programs out there, a lot of you know, something that gives this industry bad reps is some of those programs that some of these agents work on, whether, you know, if you think it's, hey, charities. Well, charities are great, but then how much is actually going to the charity? So it gets this bad rap of certain things that they're trying to accomplish and things that they're trying to succeed in. But really what we're trying to do is making sure that you have access to the clients to be able to give that customer a real opportunity to be able to be successful in the field, because they're getting something they want and possibly need. So I think that's really cool, right?
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Mr. Spence is head of business development. He works with all of our fabulous clients. So Adam, A+ answer there when you're saying you're going to put the customers, you know, first. To be honest.
We appreciate you, Spence.
That means Adam's about to ask Justin. So, what markets are available? I would like this one.
That's right. I got them all. We got them all. That's we have more markets than clients. And the second thing, I think something cool to touch on. So one of the things you mentioned, so the top three things to make a great salesperson. But as a dad, right? So I've got two boys. Something I've always thought about, like, I will not put my kids through the skill sets that you learn through our programs and some of the things that we develop in the people and the relationships we form. I think that there are some really great value techniques to be able to, skill sets that people will learn, even if they don't succeed in this business, to be able to go out and be super successful in anything else they touch.
And the characteristics, the values, if done right, I mean, they will have more integrity and more insight just on day-to-day things.
1,000%.
And so, you know, Adam, you've done really well, right? It doesn't matter if it was in Wisconsin or Philly or Michigan, now Atlanta, where I think Atlanta has kind of become your home. You know, you really hit the ground running. Since getting there, you've already expanded your business. You know, another one in Atlanta with you, and then another one in Louisville. How cool has it been to expand already?
It feels good. Not only for myself, but I mean, yeah, it makes me feel proud because I feel like I know, like I'm doing the right things. But it really feels good to watch somebody come in, have no experience, and really get to change their trajectory career-wise.
Yeah.
And I just love the industry in general, just because of all the benefits that not only skill sets and self-development and shattering limiting self-beliefs, but really watching somebody develop and change their generational tree essentially, and just being able to have a part of that chapter like in their book that they're writing, right? So it feels awesome. I love it. I'm ready to do it again.
I think you're going to Louisville from here, right?
Yeah.
Clayton and Elijah, you know, they followed you to Michigan. They followed you to Philly, back to Michigan, to Atlanta. And then Elijah went to Louisville, right? That you know, that commitment paid off. You know, both are off to good starts and growing their businesses as well. It's gotta be a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, you almost made me cry. It is. It's an awesome feeling. This is the way that you said that. It got me a little emotional. But yeah, they were a part of the whole journey, and that's why they are very battle tested. I feel like they're going to do very well. I mean, it's very early to tell, but like the sky's the limit, and they've experienced pretty much everything that the business can throw at them.
I got a shout out to Clayton for his Philadelphia Cats.
Oh yeah, Philly Cats on TikTok. Yeah, he went viral. That was
Did he?
Yeah, he had 1.7 million views on one of the videos. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Philly Cats.
So I guess Shota's not the only viral TikToker in OSP. You know, like Shota just did it and just went viral, and it's like, I don't want to do it anymore.
I'm done. Retired.
You know, it gets very toxic. Like you go viral so easily that you get so stuck on the numbers, and then it's just like your next post doesn't do as good, and you just start overthinking it. So I just started feeling it mentally. Yeah. So I stopped it after a while. And then plus when people start recognizing you and start pointing you out on the streets, it just gets a little weird.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, right.
I got 41.
I have a feeling Justin would love it. Yeah, he would be taking pictures of everybody.
Yeah, he would have his own Sharpie. He'd pull it out.
I have 41 views on what I ate for breakfast yesterday.
Hey, let's go.
Didn't do as well as my
I
other
swear
posts
to God, if you really went into it, I bet you could create a quite the following on a TikTok. or Instagram, because you're a funny dude.
I'd have to download TikTok.
For those of you that have never watched the NatCon videos, and we'll get to NatCon a little bit later, but we created this role or responsibility of the red carpet reporter. And I still, Spence has the most epic line of all time. You know, somebody was wearing this bright red feathered suit. Spence goes, without skipping a beat, he goes,
I'm getting ready to interview the red carpet on the red carpet.
That was good.
It was so great.
I love that. And, my commitment, we're going to double down on it. It is a big piece. Like if you look at the views and then they line up. At first year, I was like, oh, how is it going to happen? People line up to talk to you on the red carpet. And so we're going to do it better. We're going to do it bigger this year. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a big part of what we do.
We do.
To make it. Yeah.
I got some ideas.
Yes. I got
some ideas. Let's learn more about Adam the person. He's into this Tough Mudder stuff.
Is he really? I wouldn't say I'm into it, but I ran it. It was 12 miles of very muddy terrain. Oh my goodness. Wow.
That's the wrong one.
That was from when I was 18 years old.
If there was ever a picture that described Adam Draco.
Oh, there it is.
Wow,
I look young. Oh my goodness.
Look at that guy.
Look at that fro.
Look at
missing
that guy
that
now runs
fro.
a business. When we met Adam, you know he had a man bun.
I did have a man bun. Yes.
I missed that a little bit.
So let's go back to what's a Tough Mudder?
This is what I meant to bring up.
Tough Mudder, it's like a marathon kind of deal. It's like, have you ever heard the Spartan races? Yeah. It's very similar to that. There was 20 or 32 obstacles or something along those lines. And
12 miles, you said?
Yeah, it was 12 miles. Yeah.
What are some of the obstacles?
Wait, so you had to go 12 miles in that?
So there was running involved, and then after a mile or two, then there would be 2 or 3 obstacles that you have to go over. So yeah, some of them there was one where it was
I know I'm quite older, you're senior. I ran 3 miles this morning. I thought I was gonna die.
So tomorrow when you go out for your run, I'm gonna stand there with a bat and try to take out your shins. That's essentially adding that into your run.
And who's that with you?
That's Gabby.
That's the missus.
Yeah, that's the missus.
Couples that tough mud together, stay together.
It was her idea.
Don't they also have electric shock section?
Oh, that was terrible.
Wires and stuff?
Yeah,
Wait,
that was the worst part. And it wasn't a big section of it, but right at the end, there was one where you had to swim under it, and if you raise your back at all, you'll get shocked. But you have to walk through like these electrical wires. And by that time, like my IT bands, they were so tight that like when I got shocked, it didn't hurt anything other than my hips. And I would
So what's the
walk
point
up-
of getting like? What is there a point of it, or is it kind of like the thing like the walk-on Coles people?
What was the point of any of it, to be honest? But just to say you did it, right? To challenge yourself, so you'd prove you're tough, I guess. But that was my least favorite part. I wasn't excited about the shock.
She probably took it better than you did.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Any girlfriend that's like signed you up for Tough Mudder probably handle the shocks better. I know you're a big sports guy. Right? We got a big UFC coming up.
Oh, I'm excited.
McGregor Chandler, who do you got?
Welcome back. Oh, I mean,
You a McGregor fan?
I am a McGregor
Me too.
fan. Like I really
know.
got into MMA like during
Because of
his
him.
whole, well, not because of him, but I was there for like GSP and like Brock Lesnar and all those BJ Penn. Like I love all MMA. I love
So
it.
who you got? You got McGregor or Chandler?
If I had to bet on it, I'd probably pick Chandler, but in my heart and my soul, I want Conor to win. I don't want it to be over. I want the double champ back.
I have a habit of like falling in love with superstars and then just like holding on for too long.
Yeah, I know, same.
And like I'll end up saying I'm not, but then
Yeah.
DraftKings
Yeah.
round one, knockout will probably pop up.
But who knows?
You're a big MMA guy. Who you
man.
got?
I don't know.
It's almost going to be luck, right? They're both coming out
Yeah.
just throwing haymakers, and whichever one gets home.
I think that's it. I mean, since Conor's injury, I would really love to see how he's gonna do back in the ring. I think that's gonna be. I mean, he
Chandler
looks
doesn't
stout.
give you any time to relax.
But he's been iced for a year now. He
I mean,
hasn't
do you
competed.
remember Chandler's face?
Of course, man.
He was wearing that mask. He was puffy. He got hammered in that one. So the Rust is going to be cool. I think it's going to be a really great match. I would probably lean towards Chandler as well, just from a durability standpoint. But you never know. I mean, everybody who has ever stepped in the ring, Conor says that left hand is just
Put you to sleep.
But has it been the same since he hasn't knocked anybody out with that left hand since he moved up?
It's no, since he went to 170.
yeah.
No, but he hasn't knocked anybody out with it. Think about it.
No, the last person he knocked
The
out.
last one he had was Donald Cerrone, and that was a kick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's also fighting guys who just don't get knocked out.
That is
Justin
also valid.
is quite accurate. And what I do feel bad for is UFC 303, 304, 305. I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
They're never going to top UFC 300.
That was amazing.
It was.
And listen,
You're just not going to top it.
I was a critic of that card, probably like a
was
lot of
too.
other people. I was like, I mean,
Because it didn't have like a main.
everybody was. It was good, but I was like,
It's missing something.
it's missing like this hype.
I think where they did miss the boat was the co-main, the two, the women's title fight was kind of a snoozer. And it was like you got that massive high from
That
the Max
adrenaline
Holloway.
dump,
You
yeah.
you sandwiched it between the two knockout artists.
How
what
can you
Max
follow
Holloway
that up?
did was the most gangster thing done in the history of the UFC.
100%. That's not the first time he's done that. He's done that before.
But it was go to the center of the ring, number one. Number two, it was Justin Gaethje.
Who's a bad man.
Who has probably the heaviest hands in the division.
Bad man.
Number three, he knocked him out with 1 second to go. Number four, it wasn't a TA cut.
He was
TKO.
up all 4 rounds.
It was
Yeah.
he was asleep.
Yeah. And he didn't need to
Slumped
do
it.
that, which was even cooler.
he was
right?
up.
'Cause he was
Number
up.
five,
four
he was up.
He was up
He was up
5
4-0.
rounds, yeah.
You have nothing to gain
Exactly.
from this other than the fact you're just a BMF.
Yeah.
Like
Going back to GSP, one of the greatest welterweights of all time.
Debatably
But just like
the
to,
greatest.
just like to lay on people,
Yeah.
and especially if he's
Yeah,
up in the
I'm
rounds,
not
it was
here
just
for
like
that.
it was just so frustrating to watch because he's
Not
so
here for
talented.
that.
I loved GSP, but that's which Max
Secured the
said-
win, yeah.
Max said absolutely not.
No, yeah.
You know what's not getting enough credit because of what Max Holloway did? Pereira's knockout was
that was so
almost
cold.
equally.
So cold.
So the dude's moved up, 2 weight classes?
Yes.
He's already won belts in 2 divisions. He's been in the UFC for less than, 3 years. He's beat Azadanya, got, an illegal kick, and he literally told the official, I'm good, and then 5 seconds later,
one punch.
toast, dude.
One punch.
Didn't they say that could have messed up his rhythm too, though? Like, but it's his call.
Yeah, and they hit gloves.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll say this: Pereira is the most intimidating figure in the UFC. That walkout, I just stay in the dressing room.
Brazilians are different.
Yeah.
Just emotionless.
War paint.
Yeah, and he's massive.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Right. I think the next time we'll all see each other's next. Last year you won comeback owner of the year.
Sir.
Probably got your name in the hat this year, promoting owner of the year. NatCon 2024, rocking and rolling in the land, aka Cleveland. What do you look forward most about NatCon?
There's so many things to look forward to.
Right.
Number one is networking, though. I love the networking. The key point guest speakers like Alex Morton going to be there. That's going to be amazing impact and just like his overall knowledge.
It's going to be huge for our guys.
Exactly. I'm super excited about it. I've already put a lot of my guys onto just like some YouTube videos and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely networking. The red carpet's cool. Black tie is cool. The awards are awesome, but nothing beats really leveling yourself up.
Love all of it. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the red carpet. But you know what I love to see is I remember, talking about his guys and some of the guys he developed. It was in NatCon last year. I looked out and Clay was just standing there staring at the stage. It might have been 2 years ago.
It was, 2 years ago.
And just standing at the stage. Kind of just has this look in his eye. And I walked up to him. I said, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm visualizing myself up there next year." And what's amazing is to see the guys get empowered, get the tools that they need to be able to go home and absolutely crush it. And, we kind of can see that. So what was really neat to be able to see him succeed, be able to be out there open, crushing it, and just seeing everybody how successful they become after that with the knowledge.
Well said. Yeah, I just like getting everybody together. It's the culmination of our year, and I've been at OSP obviously forever. I remember the first one, and from where we started to every year the event just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to where, I know Shota works around the clock for these and we just bang our heads out like, well, how do we top last year? But we'll figure it out. We always do.
You have to bring back the LED floor, the walkout. That was
the LED floor was a hit.
That was
that a kickoff?
Cool. No, that was NatCon.
That was NatCon? I got CTE, so I've been to so many of these things, I can't keep them straight. But yeah, and celebrating people, whether it's recruiters, TLs, ADs, Rookie Owner of the Year, Recruiter of the Year, all the awards, obviously, it takes a lot to win them. The development that goes on, the growth that goes on. It's just a great 3 days. It's a great 3 days. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to your third NatCon, hanging out together. This year you get to go as a promoting owner with a couple deals. Cool, yeah. If obviously I think by the time you get to next year, you'll probably be a regional or national at that point.
National.
So it's always good to go to a conference, right? In a different position, right? You go as an owner, then a PO, then a regional. You're right on that track. So we'll see everybody in the land, Cleveland, rocking and rolling NatCon 2024. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? No. And as Amir would say, I do mean gentle.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for flying in from Atlanta, sir. 100%. Spence coming in from Philly. We have to end it before we hug it out with my team, my family, my OSP. We out of here. Draco.
Let's go.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
I love you, brother.
My God. Well done, sir.
Oh, I get a hug too?
Yeah, always.
Spencer, you're a big huggy teddy bear.